So today's Daily Bagel show is going to be a little bit different because after nearly 9 months of doing this show every day, we've decided to stop the daily show indefinitely. Now, before anyone panics, this isn't the end of Daily Bagel. In many ways, it's actually the beginning of an exciting new chapter. But before I explain where we're going, I want to show you where this all started. And hey, if you're listening to this on the podcast, I'd recommend watching our video version. It'll make a lot more sense. Now check this out.
Okay, I'm having one of those I don't think I know what I'm doing moments. Trying to set up the studio for Daily Bagel. And clearly I have no idea how lighting works because I had this really nice idea of what the backdrop was going to look like. And I've set it up. I'm trying to download an app that works these lights, but this is currently what I got. Yeah, we can only go up from here.
So yes, this is a first glimpse of me single-handedly trying to build a studio with zero experience. And it perfectly captures just how little I knew. And to be honest, it was quite discouraging at times. And so what I ended up doing is I wrote this quote on a scrap piece of paper and I stuck it on the bottom of my monitor. Let me grab it quickly. And it says, here we go. The fool is the precursor to the savior, and it simply means that you have to be willing to look like a bit of a fool at the beginning of anything worth doing if you ever want to eventually figure it out. And eventually things actually started coming together. The funky lights were swapped out. We added some of these wooden panels, and the setup slowly started looking like something that we could actually record videos. And so with that early version of that studio, we started recording some of our first few Daily Bagel videos. And so here's a snippet from one of the first ones.
Council was turned upside down yesterday after ANC caucus leader Benele Mujingo resigned from the party just moments before he was due to lead a motion of no confidence against the DA speaker. Instead, he walked across the floor and joined the very party that he was supposed to be holding accountable. Now, in his statement, Mujingo said that his personal values are more aligned with the DA's pursuit of clean governance and economic growth.
And so that was one of our very first Daily Bagel videos. And look, even now, I don't think I deliver the news as well as a lot of other people might, but that was painful to watch. The dodgy lighting, the monotone voice, and the awkward hand movements. I honestly couldn't believe what I was watching when I went back and looked at some of these clips. So if you were actually one of the people that started following Daily Bagel back then and somehow stuck around, thank you, because those first videos are clearly a work in progress. But then after a couple months of improvements, we decided to move from these 60-second stories into a fully fledged Daily Bagel show. And so this next clip it's one of my favorites. It's me checking how our first week of videos performed.
Alrighty, it's 12 minutes past 10 in the evening. I started this video around 1 o'clock today. This is my 5th video. It's like my first full week doing this. And let me share some results. And I hope that I can look back at this video in hopefully sooner than later and be like, wow, well done to this version of me pushing through. So just so you can kind of see, those are the first 5 videos there. Video 1 posted on Monday, like 4 days ago. 78 views, 10 likes, 100% as well. Video 2, my best one yet. 470 views, 6 comments as well. The next one, this was yesterday, 246 views, still up there, you know? And then today's one that went out, 42 views, but 9 likes. So it's quite a good ratio there. And you know what the crazy part is, though? Is I'm so proud of it. It sounds so weird to say that because you look at the results and there's like nothing here, at least for now. I mean, I've struggled to fall asleep because my brain's so wired, literally ate at my desk this evening. And yeah, look, there's no certainties in life or guarantees, but I believe that just how I see value in this, that others will too. And I get some like supportive comments and stuff like that, but yeah, spending 10 hours on a video and getting 42 views for the day, it's quite something, eh? Yeah, anyway, onwards and upwards. Let's go.
So yeah, that clip was filmed after our first 5 videos. And look, despite the very poor start, the next few weeks weren't much better. We were chewing glass for a while. But then over the months that followed, things started changing. More people started finding Daily Bagel, the audience grew, the conversations grew, and suddenly this small experiments started turning into something much faster than I could have imagined. And for that, just for starters, I genuinely just want to say thank you, because without you watching these videos, yes, you, none of this would exist. But behind the scenes, right, but it's not all sun. Catch you all for the next. Now Brazil's and my friends, 3 walnut, and go for it. Now that yo, Molly, I'm struggling today. Now, but before everyone's go for it. And
I realize my mic is on. That's embarrassing. Content smile.
But behind the scenes, something else became clear. You see, producing a full Daily Bagel show every single day is quite a machine. Research, writing, recording, editing, and then doing it all again the next morning. And while we've been incredibly proud of this show, at times it's often felt like we were just pushing out the next episode rather than giving each story the time it deserved. And so the reality is that this daily show took up almost all of our time and energy, which meant that there wasn't much room for experimenting with anything else. Now, at the same time, many of you are asking for the news in different formats. Quick posts, newsletters, deeper explainers, and weekly roundups. And so some people wanted quick updates, others wanted deeper dives. And so we started asking ourselves a bigger question here. What would Daily Bagel look like if we focused more on quality and built it around the best way to tell each story? So going forward, Daily Bagel is going to focus on a few things that we believe are actually going to make the content better. So first, the Daily Bagel show is essentially going to become a weekly show, a news roundup where we touch on the biggest stories from the past week. Now, this will go out every Sunday evening. Secondly, every couple of weeks, we'll do a deeper dive into one of the biggest stories, usually something unfolding here in South Africa, or just a topic that our community wants a better understanding of, whether that's breaking down the major political parties ahead of the elections, explaining how global events like this Middle East war affect South Africa, or just unpacking a complex story that needs a bit more context. Third of all, we are going to be putting in a lot more time and effort into our daily short form stories, as well as our behind the scenes content, so you can see what's actually happening inside Daily Bagel as we're building this thing together. And lastly, the point that I'm actually most excited for, we are going to start doing daily news posts across our social accounts. So these will mostly be carousel posts breaking down the most important stories and updates throughout the day, with a full write-up and context included in the post itself. Furthermore, each morning at 6 a.m., we'll publish a dedicated daily news roundup post, something that you can, quickly scroll through in bed or on your way to work. It'll cover the most important stories that you actually need to know, as well as financial markets, weather, and a few familiar things like your bagel bite and game section. In fact, the first one will come out tomorrow morning, so best you keep your eyes peeled. And so, yes, while the daily show might itself be coming to an end for now, the goal is to actually give you more ways to stay on top of the news, depending on how you personally like to consume it. Now, look, I know that some of you may not be thrilled to hear that the daily show is being put on ice. A lot of you have made it a part of your routine, and I completely understand that. But with the resources that we currently have right now, we believe that this is the best way to build Daily Bagel into something even better. And who knows, the daily show may very well return at some point in the near future. But for now, we believe that this direction gives Daily Bagel the best chance to grow into what it's meant to become. Because hey, if you've seen what we managed to build in the first 10 months, keeping in mind what those first few videos look like, I hope you can trust me when I say that what we're building next is going to be even better. So yes, today marks the end of the Daily Bagel show in its current form, but it also marks the start of something new, something bigger, something better. And I'm really excited to build this next chapter with you. And so if you've been watching Daily Bagel for a while, thank you for being part of the journey so far. And if you're new here, welcome. You've arrived at a very interesting time. And so if you enjoy Daily Bagel and want to stay part of this journey as we step into this new chapter, make sure that you're following us on whatever platform you prefer: Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, whatever. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and keep an eye out for the new posts and shows as they roll out. We've also launched the Daily Bagel WhatsApp channel, where we'll be sharing a lot of the updates and content moving forward. It's completely free to join. It's all free to join, and it's a great way to stay in the loop. You'll find the links to that as well as the links to all of our platforms either in our description below or our bio. And my friends, that's it for today's show. Thanks so much for tuning in. Wishing you all a fantastic week ahead. Remember, be kind to one another, and we'll catch you all a lot sooner than later. God bless.